Hey there guys, and welcome to a new video here. Here we are reviewing the away fans for St Andrews from 23rd to number 1. You may have heard in my other videos who I thought was the best away fans at St Andrews this season, but let's see if you get it right, or if you guys agree with me. In 23rd place we have Rotherham. Rotherham aren't really a huge club. They're not a club that show their strengths off the field. They're not a huge team, and they're not bigly supported. They weren't too loud. They're not a team that played well against us, and all round from that, obviously they did not have a big fan base. In 22nd place we have Reading. Reading aren't a big fan club. Again, at home they don't have big crowds. Away from home they don't bring a lot of fans. They didn't make a lot of noise at St Andrews, and compared to other clubs they were very quiet and not a lot of fans at all. In 21st place we have Hull. Another team who didn't make the noise that their fans brought. They brought quite a few fans with them, but did not make a lot of noise. Straight into 20th. We have Norwich. So Norwich were at St Andrews and the first game of the season. This was a 2-2 draw. They brought quite a few fans with them, but weren't the loudest of supported teams. The only time they made noise was when they scored, and at full time they made quite a bit of noise to celebrate the fact that they drew with us, which obviously shows it was quite a good draw considering they won the league. In 19th place we have Bolton, the first picture of a full fan base that I can find. As you can see, Bolton brought a tiny block, but it was a night game. But as you can see there at St Andrews, you can see that we did have the upper open at this point. We had quite a big support for this game. It was quite a big attended game, and Bolton did not bring the fans, did not make the noise. And to be fair to them, they probably didn't have much to make noise about considering the way their team was playing throughout the season, and they didn't play brilliant here. So yeah, 19th place was Bolton Wanderers. In 18th place we have Ipswich Town, another club who didn't do brilliant within the season. They came right down there. As a team like Ipswich, they don't have a big fan base again. But they brought quite a few fans, and this is why they ended up coming 18th, not 19th or below. It's because they brought a few fans. They made a little bit of noise, but not enough noise to be rated higher up. I would probably give them about a 4 out of 10 for their noise, and probably a 6 for support. Then we have Wigan in 17th place. They had half of the away end. They didn't fill it. They made a little bit of noise. They brought a lot of fans, but didn't make enough noise to be higher up in the ratings. Wigan was a bit of a dodgier game, where neither team played brilliant. Then we get on to 16th place. We have Queen's Park Rangers. This was a 0-0 draw. 21,000 people turned up. They had more than half the away end, but they only ended up using less than a quarter. They could have fitted into those 2 blocks on the end if they tried. They didn't make loads of noise, but they made more noise than other teams. So in 16th place we have Queen's Park Rangers. In 15th place we have Preston North End. Now this is a team who, when they come to St Andrews, they normally are alright. There was 20,000 fans at the stadium in that game, and Blues won 3-0. They ended up coming 15th on this because obviously with their team, they lost 3-0 to us. They didn't play brilliant. So overall, they ended up not supporting their team quite as well because of the fact that, the players didn't deserve it, losing 3-0 to a team like us. In 14th place, we have Blackburn Rovers. Now, Blackburn are a team, when you go to their ground, that make more noise than their fan base shows. Blackburn was a 2-2 draw with 21,000 people attending the game. They used the 2 blocks again. They weren't a big supported team, but they made enough noise to be higher up the rankings than other teams that may have brought more fans. Then we have Middlesbrough, who also took 2 and a bit blocks at St Andrews. Now, the Middlesbrough supporters are normally lower down on my thoughts. Middlesbrough beat us 2-1, and 21,000 people attended this game. Beating us 2-1, they made a little bit of noise, but could have made a lot more than they did. That's why they've come 13th. Beating us and only making that kind of noise, not really worthy of a high ranking. In 12th place, we have Bristol City. Now, Bristol City are a team that when we go there, we make a lot of noise, we take a lot of fans. Obviously, just before this photo was taken, they scored their goal. They beat us 1-0, and once again, I think nearly 21,000 people attended this game. They took up about 3 blocks. They were a good support. They made a lot more noise than other teams. They brought a lot more fans than other teams. They're deserved of their place in 12th, and I feel like they did quite well there. In 11th place, we have them down the road. Them down the road beat us 1-0. There was 26,000 people who attended the game. They made an okay amount of noise, but were not loud enough to deserve to be higher up in the rankings. They ended up beating us in a local derby, and they were quite quiet for, I'd say, 60-70% of the game. Even when we lost at their place, we made more noise than them. And it was commented on by Sky Sports and a lot of people online. Even they were turning down the Blues fans in this game. So we were very loud in this game. So this is possibly why they ended up coming lower in the rankings, because we were very, very loud in this game and a lot louder than most games. In 10th place, we have Stoke City. Stoke, we had 26,000 attend that game. The whole of the upper was being used of the Gilmerick. It was a great game. It was a Boxing Day game where we won 2-0. It was a magnificent game for Blues. Stoke fans were quite loud considering we beat them 2-0. And the whole game was brilliant. Everything about that day was a great game. 9th place, we have Brentford. Now, people may be questioning the decision of putting Brentford in 9th. We drew 0-0, and there was 23,000 people attending the game. Now, as you can see in that photo, they haven't really filled out their allocations, but they made a lot of noise for that amount. And the fact that it was a 0-0 draw, I thought they made quite a bit of noise, and they deserve to be high up in the rankings. So I think that they deserve that position that they've got in 9th place. In 8th place, we have Sheffield Wednesday. 21,600 people attended this game, and we beat them 3-1. They made a lot of noise. They are deserved of this position. They take nearly 4 blocks fully up there. And it was a magnificent game all round. They made loads of noise. We beat them, and they still were making loads of noise towards the end of that game. So they are deserved of their position in 8th place. In 7th place, we have West Bromwich Albion. I could only find a side-on picture for this one. It was 22,700 attending this game. It was a 1-1 draw, and it was a good all-round game. Obviously, due to a local derby, they come quite high up in the rankings. They probably should be coming higher, but they didn't make that much noise. I suppose a 1-1 draw is that reason. They could have come a lot lower down had we beaten them, but there's not a lot to be said. In 6th place, we have Derby County. Now, Derby are a team that bring a lot of fans away when they come to St Andrews. They definitely deserve their position in 6th place. I don't have the attendance to this game, but as you can see, they took up 4 blocks and a little bit more. We had the upper, so it was a quite well attended game. This was when the upper started opening and made the attendances and the sound of St Andrews be a lot louder, and away fans had to sing a lot louder because there was fans within their end, and it ended up working quite well. And in this game, it was a 2-2 draw. This was a game that was seriously dominated in possession by Derby. They had 68% possession. I've had to get the stats up because in my programmes, I I got the Sheffield United programme, and that is missing 3 fixtures. So this one and one of them yet to come is on there. So it was a 2-2 draw against Derby County, and it was a good support from their fans. They brought a lot of fans, they always do. In 5th place, we have Leeds. Now, Leeds are a team that obviously are known for bringing fans away from home, so you expect them to be quite high up. We beat them 1-0. 24,000 people attended. They were quite loud. Not a lot needed to be said. Millwall, now this is one people are going to disagree with me on. As you can see, not a lot of fans turned up. It was a night game, but it was my first game in the Gilmerick. But I thought Millwall made a lot of noise for the amount of fans that they brought. With it being a midweek game, 20,000 people attended, and they beat us 2-0 deservedly. And their fans made a lot of noise. They deserve to be that high up in the rankings. In 3rd place, we have Swansea. You can see they've took 2 and a bit blocks. Swansea, the attendance was 20,000. It was a 0-0 draw, but Swansea made a lot of noise on that game. And for a 0-0 draw right at the start of the season, a great away following. Then we have Nottingham Forest in 2nd place. You guys can probably work out who is first from my other vlogs, but in 2nd place was Nottingham Forest. We beat them 2-0. 24,000 people attended this game. Great away following by Nottingham Forest, taking up 4 blocks. Those 4 blocks well attended by Nottingham Forest. Well done to Nottingham Forest, coming 2nd in my league. And going on to number 1 is Sheffield United. They took up 4 and a bit blocks. This is when the upper wasn't open. It was a 1-1 draw, and it was one of those games where it was a tight affair, not a lot of shots, but Sheffield United brought it. Their fan base was incredible. They were really loud. They made loads of noise. They brought loads of fans, and they deserve what they got in their promotion. In my eyes, at St Andrews, they were the best away following I have seen in years. They made a lot more noise than us. And we were losing 1-0, and we equalised, but they still continued through to the 90th minute and did not give up. Their singing, they were sensational, singing their Greasy Chip Butty song pre-match, even though they were away. They are deserved of the 1st place trophy. So well done to Sheffield United fans. You guys are awesome. Enjoy your Premier League run for next season. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys agree, comment down below. If you disagree, comment down below. Put yours down below. See what you guys think about it. If you have huge disagreements, put it in there. I expect I'm going to get some for Millwall, definitely, and possibly a few others. But thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll be back with some news once we get it. Signings and other things like that. Hopefully coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys.